come, Ray. The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win. Now the 2-1. Line drive to the base hit. Justice has scored the tying run. Green to the plate. And he is safe. Safe at the plate. The Braves go to the World Series.
Have reserved seats somewhere along one of the baselines that sat when they were children and cheered their heroes.
Gibson swings and a fly ball to deep right field. This is going to be a home run. Unbelievable!
A 3-run home run for Bucky Dent. The Yankees now lead it by a score of 3-2.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mazeroski has hit a 1-0 pitch over the left field fence at Ford Field to win the 1960 World Series.
They'll arrive at your door as innocent as children, longing for the past.
The Pope arrived at Yankee Stadium. As one enthusiastic announcer put it, he is standing on second base.
Reggie Jackson. Long drive right field. It is goodbye. Big World Series.
The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run.
Back and throws. There's a left back. It's going to be, I believe, the Giants from the pennant. The Giants from the pennant. The Giants from the pennant.
The 0-1 pitch. A liner off Nagy's glove into center field. The Florida Marlins have won the World Series.
The memories will be so thick that I can brush them from their faces.
The 1-0 delivery to Fisk. He swings long drive left field. If it stays fair, it's gone. Home run. The Red Sox win. And the series is...
Lolich fires. Ball is hit high in the air. This should be the series. Freehand waving everybody away in foul territory. Detroit wins. Here's the pitch to Willie. Here's a liner straight to Richardson. The ball game is over and the World Series is over. Willie McCovey hit it like a bullet. A line drive right.
Baseball to mark the time.
The Oakland A's take.
I'll tell you what, we're having an earth.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Candlestick Park for Game 3 of the 1989 World Series.
It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again.
Frank Robinson, the right-hand batter.
Long drive to left field. Way back. Gets it back. Home run.
Base hit loaded, 1 out. Pena in a jam. The Twins are going to win the World Series. The Twins have won it.
Ozzie with 1 out. Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run. And the
Willie Mays just brought this crowd to its feet with a catch, which must have been an optical illusion to a lot of people.
This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again.
Broadcasted live.
Who wants to have some fun?
There are balls coming from all over the place. Left field, center field, right field. See, this is the kind of thing, quite honestly, right now, that makes you want to see the Chicago Cubs team lose.
Now, you just saying you want to have fun, or do you really want to have fun?
It'll be fun.
Will the next person that sees anybody throw anything onto this field, point them out, or get them out of here? You don't live in Cleveland. You live in Cincinnati.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
That is the farthest thing in the universe from the truth.
Hello, everyone, live. It's the Dan Scott Show. And right there is your host, Dan Scott.
All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to this
Tuesday edition of the program. I am your host, Dan Scott. Very happy to have you with us as we get you lined up and ready to go for another hour here, and a lot more football that we'll be talking about today, among other things, and getting you set for what's coming up this weekend. There are a couple of games. That's what they're called, games, actual games this weekend. The long break between at least Furman broadcasts is over, and we're ready to rock and roll, and it all starts actually on Thursday with the Clay Hendricks Show at Shortfields in downtown Travelers Rest. That'll be aired on Fox Sports 1440, our flagship station, and it'll also be live streamed on Furman's Facebook page. So you'll be able to watch it as well as listen to it. You can also catch it via Stretch Audio off of the Furman website. But it all starts there. Clay, normally we do the first show after week one, but he wanted to do one prior to the Clemson game this week because he thought there might be a few people interested in this particular matchup to open the 2018 season. And, I think he's right. I posted this yesterday, and this is funny. I still live in the Clemson area, just outside of Clemson in Central. At least that's the address. It's actually more 6 Mile than it is Central, but I've given up trying to figure out how they do the addresses over there. But anyway, I still live there. We've lived in the same house since 2005, and quite honestly, as I tell people all the time, they say, well, you work at Furman, why don't you move to Greenville? Well, we like where we are, number one. I enjoy the drive every day. I'm unlike a lot of people, the 35 or 40 minutes it takes me to get to work and get home is a kind of clear your head therapy session on a daily basis. But beyond that, my 2 grandchildren live 10 minutes from us, and if I were to suggest that we move to Greenville, whoever put that idea in my head, both of us would get shot by Mrs. Scott. So we certainly don't want that to happen. I can promise you. So the grandchildren trump everything, and why not? The old joke is true. If we'd have known how great grandkids were, we'd have had them first. But that notwithstanding, so the point is, there is a point to this. I still live over there. And every day, you guys see me do this show, every day I wear a Furman shirt. I work at Furman University. It's kind of what we do around here. I wear a Furman shirt every single day of the week, possibly with the exception on Sunday when I go to church. So it's not unusual for me to be seen in the Clemson area wearing my Furman shirt. And nobody ever says anything about it. Occasionally I'll come across somebody who I know and haven't seen in a while, and they'll ask me how things are going and how things are going over here, who remember all the great times we had on the old radio show over at the Clemson station. But by and large, the fact that I'm wearing a Furman shirt goes pretty much unnoticed all the time, except for this week. Yesterday, I'm wearing my Furman shirt, and we go to dinner. We go to Wally World. We go to a couple of different places, and the comments started. Oh, you're wearing it a day early for the game, aren't you? Well, no, actually, I'm wearing it about 5 days early for the game. Thank you very much. Clemson's going to beat Furman to death, don't you? Well, that's what everybody says is going to happen. Yeah, I get it, and so on and so forth. And I thought it was fun. I really did. Nobody cares for the other 360 some odd days, the other 51 weeks of the year. But this week, suddenly it matters that I'm walking around Clemson wearing my Furman shirt that I wear every day. And welcome to college football fandom, especially in the South. I love it, and I'm sure that yesterday was just the beginning. The thing that unfortunately doesn't surprise me, and I used to let it really aggravate me. Now I kind of have gotten to the point where I can just kind of let it roll off and go. Is I posted that yesterday on Facebook and Twitter with the intention of it being a fun type of thing. In fact, I said that, it was fun getting those comments. And sure enough, on the Facebook thread, my post about the Furman-Clemson game and my Furman shirt turned into a battle of words between South Carolina and Clemson fans. And up to the point that there was some vulgarity used and I had to delete a post and some other things. That side of it still irks me sometimes. I mean, I understand the rivalry. I don't mind a little bit of trash talk. But to see something that I did yesterday hijacked like that, it doesn't surprise me, and it doesn't bother me the way it used to. The vulgar language bothered me, and I got rid of that as soon as I saw it. But that's the nature of the rivalry, I suppose. And it's that way, I'm sure, Ohio State and Michigan, Auburn, Alabama, and all the other major rivalries all around the country. But to have my thread kind of hijacked that way yesterday, it did cause me to raise an eyebrow a little bit. But to say it surprised me or really upset me, no, just the bad language did, and I was able to take care of that. In any event, it is game week, in case you hadn't figured that out yet, and the intensity is starting to ramp up everywhere on this campus, on Clemson's campus, on campuses all over the state, on campuses all over the country. And we get the games coming up on Thursday. We showed you the schedule yesterday, but we'll show you again now for the Southern Conference. These are the games in Week 1. And they began with a pair of games on Thursday night. Chattanooga playing host to Tennessee Tech, and Samford entertaining Shorter. And then on Saturday, Furman at Clemson is the lone day game, the 12-20 contest. And then everything else involving a SoCon team, as you see on your screen, is at night. Western Carolina hosting Newberry, and a conference matchup between the Citadel at Wofford at 6 o'clock. At 7 o'clock, VMI at Toledo, and Mercer at Memphis, and then at 7:30, Mars Hill at ETSU. The other thing that I saw on my Twitter feed yesterday, and this is a time of year when even people you don't follow, they'll do sponsored tweets that find their way onto your timeline. They will be retweeted by maybe people you do follow. But you start to get the things from the gambling sites, and I do not gamble. I never had any money to lose growing up, so I never learned to play poker. I still, to this day, do not know how to play poker and have no intention at age 51 of learning how to play poker. Don't care how to play poker. But anyway, you start to see the gambling sites coming up yesterday, and there was one that popped up on my Twitter feed that said, for a $5 bet, you can win $1.1 million. All that has to happen is VMI has to beat Toledo and Furman has to beat Clemson. A $5 bet and you win $1.1 million. I scrolled right on past. I did not stop. I did not entertain the idea. But hey, that is where we are. It's that time of year, and everybody's going to start seeing so much more of that kind of thing. Unfortunately, that's the way it goes. Coming up on today's show, as we get set to start getting to some things that matter, we continue our SoCon previews, and we're going to double up again today, and I'll explain why in a moment. But we will see the videos from Mercer and Chattanooga from the SoCon Digital Network. You guys are going to also be very happy. I posted this about a half an hour before the show came on. I got the video placement fixed inside the on-screen box. So it's not going to be just 2/3 of the video box and cutting people off, right about here as they're talking. I've got it set now. I finally figured it out. Mr. Technical guy, right? I finally figured it out, and now you can see the entire box. The whole thing's a little smaller, but you can see it all. When they show highlights, you can see those. So I'm excited about getting it right 3 days into doing this. But Mercer and Chattanooga will be the two teams that we'll check in with via the SoCon network, digital networks previews today. And as we move forward, I think Wofford will be tomorrow, and we'll continue on. And then a little bit later on in the show, we'll give you a little visual of what's coming up the rest of the week on the show here. Right now, I can tell you that coming up immediately is a commercial break, and in that commercial break, you're going to be hearing about my friends at Carolina Creative Group. They are the ones who bring you the show on a daily basis, and they are the ones I turn to get my brand new website done, thedanscottshow.com. Very, very happy with it, happy with the relationship. In fact, I've got a little meeting with Randy Looper today after the show, as a matter of fact, to talk about, okay, 30 days has passed now. What are we going to do to make things better? What are we going to do to ramp it up even more? So we'll be doing that, and that's the kind of service you get when you deal with Carolina Creative. They are very, very much into making sure that their clients put their best foot forward. Find out what they can do for you, not only websites, but all kinds of things like brand strategy, marketing, development. I mean, they can do it all for you. 864-250-2012, 864-250-2012, or you can find them online at carolinacreative.co. That is Carolina Creative Group, and they are standing by ready and willing to talk to you today. All right, as we go to break, you'll hear first and foremost in the break from the folks at Make-A-Wish, South Carolina, and then on the other side, the Mercer preview from the SoCon Digital Network. This is the Dan Scott Show, and we'll return right after this.
For a child battling a critical illness, a wish come true can be a turning point. One song, one dance, one game, one moment changes everything. Make-A-Wish needs your support to grant more life-changing wishes. Visit Make-A-Wish online now. Together, we can transform lives, one wish at a time.
If you're looking for the perfect frame for that special photo or painting, Custom Corners Frame Shop in Seneca can deliver for you. Family owned for nearly 4 decades, Trevor and the folks at Custom Corners Frame Shop pride themselves on quality, presentation, and professionalism. They offer picture framing for every budget, and every job is custom. Custom Corners Frame Shop also sells work from local artists as well as locally themed gifts. For more information, visit them at 289 Market Street in Seneca. Call 864-882-7736 or find them on Facebook, Custom Corners Frame Shop in Seneca.
Hey everybody, Dan Scott here, and I want to tell you about my technology partner, Carolina Creative Group. When my show needed a creative technology boost, I turned to Carolina Creative Group. My custom design website is going to take marketing as well as brand strategy and development to new levels. The search engine optimization means that my clients' ads will be seen by more people more often. And if I have any questions, Carolina Creative Group is just a phone call away. Friends, that is just the tip of the proverbial iceberg. You can find out all the ways that Carolina Creative Group can help your business by simply calling 864-250-2012. Again, that's 864-250-2012, or simply visit them online at carolinacreative.co. Carolina Creative Group, technology partner of the Dan Scott Show.
When you go in search of a fence company, what's your criteria? Experience? Trust? A company that gets it right the first time and stands behind its work? Then your search is over. Faulkner Fence has been Greenville's fence company for more than 40 years. Ed Faulkner started the business, and now Son Todd continues the tradition of excellence. So regardless of your fencing needs, commercial, industrial, or residential, trust the company that Greenville has trusted for over 4 decades. Faulkner Fence, 864-271-4626, or online at faulknerfencecompany.com.
All right, welcome back to the program. I am Dan Scott. It is segment 2 of the show. A reminder that coming up in the next couple of days, and I'll show you a full schedule all the way through Tuesday later on, but Dave Glenn of ACCSports.com and the David Glenn Show tomorrow at 10:25. And then on Thursday, really excited to get a chance to revisit with my buddy Larry Williams from TigerIllustrated.com. Every week during the season, we will bring you on somebody to help preview Furman's opponent that week. Larry is an old friend, and he did regular guest shots on my old radio show over at Clemson for many, many years. For my money, the best on the Clemson beat when it comes to writing and covering everything that goes on with the Tigers. TigerIllustrated.com's Larry Williams, Thursday via phone at 10:25 a.m. Right now, let's go to the SoCon Digital Network's previews as we continue taking a look at Southern Conference teams in the preseason. Two of them today. We'll do Chattanooga coming up a little bit later on. But right now, let's see what's going on with the Mercer Bears and former Furman head coach Bobby Lamb, who, as you will hear, is one win away from his 100th career win at Mercer. Check it out.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mercer University 2018 Southern Conference Football Preview. We're here with head coach Bobby Lamb. Coach Lamb is winner of the 2018 season, your sixth season now at Mercer, 18 starters returning. You had 8 student athletes named to the preseason All-Southern Conference team. You're one win away from win number 100 in your career. What does this season mean to you?
Well, this season, we're excited about the season, first of all. It's a great time of year. Football's cranking up, and there's a lot of excitement. I know within our football circle over at Drake Fieldhouse, we are excited about the young men that's been here all summer working. It's been a process to get to this point, and we feel like getting to this point now, we're a little bit deeper scholarship-wise. We have some veteran players that have really made the difference in our program, and we just feel great about the season and look forward to getting it started.
Coach, you've raised the bar every year, the level of competition we've had. Last year, both Auburn and Alabama, who won the national championship. Did that experience last year now enable your team to realize that you can put them in a situation to play anybody, maybe nobody tougher than what you played last year?
Yeah, I think if you look at the schedule last year, we had the toughest schedule in FCS football, no doubt, with Auburn and Alabama tagged on the schedule. But I think our kids really learned a lot about themselves by playing Auburn and Alabama, playing in the SEC, playing obviously the eventual national champion. So it was a great learning experience for us. Gave us some experience that you really don't get at this level, and so I hope that helps us in this season.
Coach, you have so many responsibilities as a head coach, especially during the game, but a change this year. Coach Joe Pizzo comes in, and he'll be calling the plays. How does that change game day preparations for you now?
Well, after every season, you want to evaluate. You evaluate your staff, you evaluate yourself, you evaluate your entire program, and I just felt like moving forward, we needed somebody to take the next step to be the play caller. And been knowing Joe for a long time. He's been an offensive coordinator for 22 years of his career. We talked about changing terminology and all this, and we tweaked it a little bit. But I'm going to let Joe run with it. He's done a great job of coming in and seeing what kind of talent we have and kind of gelling his offense with our talent. So it's going to be interesting to see how we do on offense, and it'll be a little bit different for me on game day. I'll be able to manage the game a little better, get a little bit more involved in special teams, and actually a little bit more involved on the defensive side.
Coach, you mentioned the talent and experience you have back on this football team. Can you name some of the key players that really have to succeed and do well at their individual positions this year for this team to do well?
Well, it all starts on the defensive side, I think. And really, you look on the defensive side, a guy like Isaiah Bueller on the defensive line. Isaiah's been a great player for us at defensive end. He's a great leader. At the linebacker position, Will Conway comes back with a lot of experience. And then you go all the way back to the safety position. Malik Fleming is a key player. Started a lot of games last year as a true freshman and has really had a great offseason. So those are some of the guys on the defensive side. Offensively, we feel like we got a lot of weapons. T. Mitchell at running back. T's been an experienced player here. Almost gained like 950 yards 2 years ago. So we look to try to get him over 1,000. Marquise Irvin, a big wide receiver. Marquise has had a great career. Didn't redshirt him. We threw him right in there as soon as he got here. And then Sam Walker, our tight end. Sam is probably one of the better tight ends I've ever coached, and I've coached some good ones over the years. And then you starts with the quarterback. Kalen Riley's back. Kalen is a Southern Conference Freshman of the Year last year. But then we have a young man named Robert Riddle who's been splitting time with Kalen in spring practice and will split time with him in preseason camp. And that's going to be an interesting situation as we move forward.
Coach Lamb, as a player, as a coach, you've been associated with the Southern Conference now for many, many years. For this football team, 2018, what are the keys for Mercer being in contention at the end of the season for a conference championship?
Well, I think we've preached it all summer long. We've preached it all at the end of last year, and that's finishing games. And we've got to find ways to finish games. We did an unbelievable job of finishing the Western Carolina game, which was our last conference game last year, on the road. And that's got to be a big building block for us. I think we have the talent in place. I think we're as deep as we've been in a lot of positions. And as you well know, in football, there's a lot of injuries, but depth is really going to come into play. It always does at the FCS level with only 63 scholarships. But at the end of the day, we got to learn how to finish games, and we got to do it in the fourth quarter.
All right, thanks, Coach. Best of luck this season.
Thanks, Rick.
Up next, we'll have a couple of Mercer University players to join us as we talk more about the season coming up. Stay tuned with more SoCon football right away. We have visiting with us T. Mitchell, senior running back out of Jacksonville, Florida. T, you need 25 yards to become the third player in program history with 2,000 career yards, 629 rushing yards to become the all-time leading rusher, 379 all-purpose yards to reach 3,000. Having said all of that, what aspect of your game have you worked most on in the preseason to get ready for this year?
Really, physically, not too much. Just kind of the same maintenance. Try to get bigger, stronger, faster. More so my confidence. I feel like after kind of being out for a while last year, I didn't have the same confidence going into last year, and now I feel more like myself. So that was the biggest thing, just working on small things, film room, just kind of like studying other opponents. That kind of part of my game, so I worked on more.
T, considering the talent and the experience available on this offensive unit, describe the 2018 Mercer offense for those of us that need a description of what to look forward to.
Quite honest, I think this is going to be the most explosive year. We had a new offensive coordinator come in, Coach Pizzo, and his scheme fits well with all the talent that we have with Queese on the outside, Sam. He found a way to kind of open up the offense. I don't want to tell too much, but it's going to be an exciting year and probably the most explosive year that we have here at Mercer.
You guys had an extremely tough schedule last year. My goodness, you played Auburn right down to the wire. You played Alabama, who won the national championship. Having played those type teams on their field, how does that help you and the team preparing for what may come your way this season?
Well, personally, going back to what I said about the confidence, ending the year on that note and playing, I felt one of my best games against Alabama kind of helped me go into the spring and into the season with the confidence. I think it gave the whole team as a whole confidence, seeing how we played against Auburn and Alabama. So now that we're back into our regular SoCon play, we have Memphis to start opening the game. Basically around the whole team, the vibe and the coaches that we can play with anybody. And this year it's kind of make that leap and win those close games. So now that confidence kind of propelled this team forward.
Final question, how excited are you to get this season underway?
Very excited. Very excited. I couldn't be more excited. Senior season, I want to go out with a bang. And obviously, when you go out and you're senior, you want to leave a legacy and a footprint on the program. So that's my goal this year.
All right, have a great year, T.
Yes, sir.
That's T. Mitchell, our senior running back from Jacksonville, Florida. We'll be back and go to the other side of the football and LaMarcus Bailey when we continue with the 2018 SoCon football preview. We're visiting now with LaMarcus Bailey, redshirt senior linebacker out of Marietta, Georgia. LaMarcus, last year you were a team captain, but you had your buddy Lee Bennett to kind of help you out in a leadership role. Lee's moved on. You're one of the main guys. What does it mean to you to be one of the leaders that others will be looking forward to in this season?
It's a big honor, definitely, being here for going to my 5th year now. I've learned a lot over the years from guys like Lee, Toast and Aggie Boys, guys like that. So now it's time for us, for me as a team captain, team leader, to show those same examples of leadership and being a guy that the rest of my teammates can look up to and come for advice. I'm definitely gonna be a person they can look to for plays being made and that kind of thing.
Let's talk about the Legion of Chaos. Well, the name came about last year. Refresh our memory, those who may not know where the name came from. Are we going with Legion of Chaos again this season?
Yes, sir, definitely. The LOC, Legion of Chaos, that's one of the things that we built our defense around, just about being fast, physical, making plays. And, that's what defense is about, making plays, giving the offense a boost when they need, giving the rest of the team a boost. It extends from kickoff as well. We had the #1 hit team in the conference last year in the nation. So we look to repeat that in the same fashion this year.
As we enter this season, it's a one game at a time, just one game per week, but ultimately you want to compete for a championship. I know you can speak on behalf of the defensive side of the ball first, but overall as a team, as we dig down and truly compete this season for that SoCon championship, what's it going to take for you and the remainder of the guys to do?
Every day, that focus, come in every day, practice. We want to be able to stress those every day, come in and compete, come in ready. It's the morning, practice is going to be early, but regardless, you got to come up with the sense of urgency every day, film, studies, extra time with your coach, things like that. That's what's going to take. It's going to take everybody to come along, all hands on deck, like they say, and so I think we'll be good.
That's LaMarcus Bailey, our linebacker from Marietta, Georgia. Thanks to Coach Lamb, T. Mitchell, and LaMarcus for taking time to be with us today. I'm Rick Cameron, and this has been the 2018 Southern Conference Football Preview.
All right, there you go. That was a look at Mercer. I thought it was very interesting towards the beginning of Bobby Lamb's interview, the former Furman head coach, former Paladin legendary quarterback here with Furman, to say that he is giving up the play calling duties for the Bears and turning it over to his new offensive coordinator. So this will be a first for him. It'll be intriguing to see how that dynamic plays out for Mercer this season and how he handles that. He says he wants to be able to manage the game better, get involved in some other things, perhaps. So we'll see what happens. But Bobby Lamb, first time, perhaps, giving up the play-calling duties as a head coach. All right, we need to go to break. Before we go, just a reminder about our friends at Hall's Chop House. Downtown Greenville, the Greenville Steakhouse, and we say that, well, because it's true, and it starts with the Allen Brothers Prime Steaks out of Chicago, and everything else on the menu falls into place right there. I keep beating this drum, folks, but I do it because it's true. You are not going to find any place that is as busy as they are on a nightly basis, and they are slammed, where they have the knack and the unique ability to make you and your table feel like you're the most important table in the facility while you're there. And that is incredible training, incredible dedication by Billy Hall and his staff at Hall's Chop House. So just remember that next time you're looking for that exquisite dining experience, you're going to get it at Hall's. They also are open for lunch now on Fridays and Saturdays, brunch on Sunday, live music every time the doors are open. That is Hall's Chop House, the Greenville Steakhouse downtown. And as always, please tell them you heard about him here on the show. We'll come back, and up next is the Chattanooga preview with the Dean of Southern Conference Broadcasters, Jim Reynolds, beginning, I think you're either 38 or 39, 112. He's about that old. But JR will be leading that with the Chattanooga brand. Coming up here in just a moment as we go out, among others, a word from Gail Sartain, Realtor. This is The Dan Scott Show. We'll return right after this. When you're looking for the home of a lifetime, you need a realtor you can trust. With more than 27 years experience selling real estate, Gail Sartain is the choice to help the discriminating buyer find the home of their dreams. Licensed in both South Carolina and Georgia, Gail specializes in homes on beautiful lakes Hartwell and Kiwi, as well as the surrounding areas, and has a wealth of experience working with people with technical backgrounds. Now is the time to buy, sell, and invest in real estate in the Clemson-Seneca area. Let Gail help you realize that dream today. Call her at 404-317-3171. That's Gail Sartain, a member of the National Association of Realtors.
Looking for a great car, but your credit needs work? Premier Automotivations is a professional referral service motivated to help you drive a car you love while rebuilding your credit. Late model cars of all kinds. Premier Automotivations can get you on the road and your credit on the road to recovery today. Serving all of upstate South Carolina, it's Premier Automotivations. Call Sherry today at 864-722-3785 or email cricketgravely@gmail.com.
Let me tell you something, Cowboy. This rookie can really bring the heat.
He's smoky and spicy with a Chipotle style all his own.
It's a new Montgomery Inn Chipotle barbecue sauce. Make it a part of your home team.
Available now at your neighborhood grocer or online at CincyFavorites.com.
Dan Scott here for the Atlanta Bread Company. What do I like about Atlanta Bread? Well, too much to mention in a short commercial, but here are a few things. Bread baked daily fresh on site, a tremendous selection of soup, sandwiches, and salads, seasonal special additions to the menu, delicious hot coffee, and a bevy of other drink options. And yeah, can't forget about the baked sweet goodies. Dine in or carry out, and when you have the Atlanta Bread Company app, you can order and pay online, then breeze past the lines to the pickup counter to get your food. Experience it for yourself. That's the Atlanta Bread Company, Cherrydale Point in Greenville. The Walk a Mile Project is a 501c3 nonprofit Christian humanitarian aid organization whose goal is to organize, build, and invest in ways to meet the physical needs of impoverished communities around the world. What do? They encourage and equip groups on how to prepare for a mission trip, how to get there, how to form a trip, and how to raise funds. Then the Walk a Mile Project teaches groups how to build houses, conduct medical clinics, feed a village, you name it. Find out how you can partner with one of their mission trips or set up one of your own. Visit their website, thewamproject.org, thewamproject.org for more information. That's the Walk a Mile Project. All right, as another beautiful day begins to manifest itself over the campus of Furman University, and I have the best view on campus gazing out towards Paris Mountain. We welcome you back to the Dan Scott Show. Coming up on the show this week, I'll go ahead and show you this now, and we'll show it to you later. We mentioned Dave Glenn tomorrow, our regular check-in with the Know Everything guy from ACCSports.com, his own talk show syndicated throughout the state of North Carolina. And we talk ACC. We go beyond the confines of the borders of the ACC as well. That's tomorrow at 10:25. Larry Williams, TigerIllustrated.com, 10:25 on Thursday. Doubling up on Friday, Scott Keeler will be in to talk about some of the prep football games he'll be watching over the course of Friday night. He'll be here at 10:25. And then Brett Harker, Furman's baseball coach, at 10:45. We're going to talk a little bit about lessons learned from last year, and I know he is really, really excited about the group that's on campus that'll be starting fall ball in the not-too-distant future. No show on Monday because of the Labor Day holiday. And then on Tuesday of next week, Don Clardy, the former Paladin wide receiver and now a financial advisor for New York Life, he'll be in with us at 10:15 to give us his thoughts on the Clemson game. And then we're going to start taking the schedule week by week from 1988. This is the Diamond anniversary, 30th anniversary of Furman's 88 national championship team. We're going to start taking the schedule week by week and getting Don's thoughts and remembrances of those games as they happened in week by week, quote unquote, real time. Normally it'll be on Mondays, but next week on Tuesday because he won't be here. What's not on the schedule there is some anticipated conversations with the two soccer coaches here on Furman's campus, Doug Allison of the men and Andrew Burr of the women. We'll get those scheduled as we can. Right now, though, let's continue with the SoCon previews and go back to the SoCon Digital Network. This time, our buddy Jim Reynolds, JR, the Dean of Southern Conference Broadcasters, anchoring our look at the Chattanooga Mocs for 2018.
Welcome to the Southern Conference Football Preview. I'm Jim Reynolds, along with Chattanooga Mocs head football coach Tom Arth, heading into his second year. Let's look back, and then we'll look forward. And I look at last year as kind of the tale of two seasons. Yes or no, because you guys finished strong.
We did. We were happy with the growth that we made throughout the season. I think we made a lot of progress in a lot of different areas. And I think it started to show those last few weeks of the season, certainly getting a big win at Samford, being right there in it with Wofford, the big win at ETSU. It was a good way to finish the season. Obviously, we would like to finish even stronger than we did, but we certainly learned a lot about our team and what it takes to be successful. And I think that's really helped us as we went into the off season this year.
When did the light bulb go on, or was it a slowly adjusting type of thing? Was it at a practice, or all of a sudden what translated in practice showed up at a game where players finally, I don't know, finally is the right word, but bought in and had success?
I really think that the bye week, that second bye week we had last year, that was an incredible week of practice. And we kind of were starting to show some signs of really starting to figure it out leading into that week. But that week was so competitive, and it was so intense. And I think that the guys, at that point, realized, that's what it should feel like. That's what it should be like every single day. And, we came back the week after that and really had another great week and kind of put that together for the rest of the season.
When you first came to Chattanooga, you barely had a chance to kind of catch your breath. My words, not yours. Having an off season, what happened from the end of November to where we are right now, whether it be recruiting, winter workouts, all those kind of things? What progress has been made from that time in November, the last game, to where we are right now?
Certainly a lot of progress in really every area. Really going through it, and as you mentioned, when we first arrived, everything was just happening so fast, and you weren't really quite sure how all the different pieces within the organization work together, and figuring that all out. We were in a much better place this year with that in terms of the recruiting aspect, and really all other phases within our athletic department and football program. But I think that knowing the team really helped me. Knowing where, what the big areas we needed to focus on were to improve. And we really had a great plan going into our winter program. And then, again, being able to analyze that winter program and last season and figure out, okay, well, what do we need to best focus on for the spring and the summer and now here in fall camp. And I think we have had a really good idea of what, the next step is for our team and what we need to do as a team to continue to improve and to get to where we're capable of being.
Well, you should have asked me. I could have told you. I think the things, correct me if I'm wrong, which I know you will, probably running the football and turnovers offensively have to be areas of improvement where you can't be at the same rate you were a year ago.
No, absolutely. And I think overall, as a program, from a defensive perspective, creating more takeaways. And that's not something that your players can – they can't go out there and think, okay, I need to get an interception on this play. We talk about it as, technique. When technique meets awareness, takeaway occurs. And you have to play with the right technique, and you have to have awareness. And in those moments, take advantage of the opportunities. But we've spent a lot of time this fall camp really working on, ball disruptions, whether that's tip attempts, for our defensive linemen rushing the passer, if that's, every opportunity we have to rip the ball, try to punch it from behind, from an offensive player, just all of those things from a defensive standpoint, and likewise from an offensive point of view, ball security has been a major emphasis for us. And you were out at practice and you saw, we've devoted a period every single day where we're working together offensively and defensively in a ball security takeaway practice, and I think it's been really good for us. The fundamentals and the techniques are really starting to show up, and we see it in our team periods, and so that'll be critical. We have to take care of the ball. We have to create more takeaways. We have to run the ball better, but we also have to protect the passer, and I think that's been a big bright spot for us. One of the big bright spots for us in camp has been the play of our offensive line. We feel very good about that group, where they stand at this moment. We're a much improved group. We're a much deeper group. Really feel that we have 7 guys right now that are competing to be in that starting 5, which is a great feeling.
I want to jump in and say I don't know if there's just a jaw-dropping, boy, this guy's going to come in camp and be great. But it seems like you added to your depth overall, where you were thin at some areas and now have a backup plan, if you will.
I think offensive line, I think, is where we really succeeded in that area. We are still pretty thin on the defensive line, still pretty thin at running back. So we have to do a good job of managing that, and we have a plan, on how we use our personnel, to do our best to alleviate some of those depth issues. But, the young players in our program are going to have to step up. We're going to rely on some young guys this year on the defensive line, at running back, at inside linebacker. We're going to rely on some of these guys to come in and to play well, to play at a high level.
Here's what I know about quarterbacks. They love to talk about quarterbacks. Talk about that position battle that's going on right now.
Absolutely. It's been really, really great to see, and it hasn't just started, in August when we showed up for camp. It's been going since spring, since the winter, I should say, in the weight room and competing in there, competing out on the field in running sessions, competing during spring practice and meetings, and it's continued throughout this fall camp, and it's been really positive. Our team has responded really well to all of our quarterbacks, and I think that they're both playing. Nick and Chris are both playing at a high level right now, both exceeding our expectations, and it'll be exciting to see who wins the job.
Just talk about the running situation as it is right now. So go to running back. Who has stepped up there?
Tyrell Price has been fantastic. He's had an amazing camp. I think we knew that coming in, as we were recruiting him from East Mississippi and watching him in spring practice, knew that he had a lot of ability. But this camp, he has really taken it to another level and has been extremely impressive. Very difficult to tackle, big, strong, physical runner, but he also has a different gear. When he gets into the open field, he has the ability to take it a long way, and he's been great to see. And Alex Trotter is healthy, and he's back, going full go now, and we feel very good about those two guys. And then some of the young guys, Jonathan Stovall. James graduated, but his cousin Jonathan, who was a walk-on running back for us this year, has been phenomenal. So we're excited to see how he continues to progress. Isaiah Cobb, true freshman, has been exciting. So we feel good about that group.
Last question. Talk about the specialty guys, and having those two guys, punter, place kicker, coming back, has to make you feel a little bit better.
It does, and really, Victor has been great in camp. I think he had a good season last year, made some big kicks and some big moments for us, and a more consistent kicker. And that was the one thing last year. He seemed to go out into the games and he made the majority of his kicks, but practice wasn't always the case. And at this point, through camp, he's been kicking the ball very well.
Thank you, Coach. Mocs football coach Tom Arth with the Southern Conference Football Preview. I'm Jim Reynolds. This is the Southern Conference Football Preview 2018. I'm Jim Reynolds, along with Chattanooga Mocs quarterback Nick Tiano and cornerback C.J. Fritz. Let's start defense a little bit. We're probably going to have a theme of turnovers for both of you guys, so let's go there. Start with C.J., and I talked to Coach Arth not all that long ago, and he said turnovers would obviously be a key, not giving away and getting more takeaways. Takeaways, turnover-wise, that's a philosophy every play, isn't it? And you would admit to me, I think, that takeaways is going to be really key for this team and something you guys have worked on a bunch.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One of our models this year is like at the end of every play is a takeaway. So I mean, like a strip attempt, a forced fumble, a pick, anything that creates a takeaway is something that we need on our team to be very successful on defense and to help even defense and help the offense as well to have great field position. So that's going to be one of the key parts of this defense this year.
Talk about a philosophy of just playing corner to start with. You like that one-on-one matchup? Do you mind being on an island? Do you like that challenge? Do you like going against a top receiver on the other team? Or but you don't mind having help every so often, do you?
All right. I love playing corner because it's like you said, like it's just one-on-one matchup with me and the receiver like the whole game, and our defense is based on man coverage. So I mean, a lot of the times I'm put in positions where I gotta play one-on-one against that guy. So it's me against him. It's either I'm gonna win or he's gonna win. So it's like it's very competitive nature outside on the corner.
When you get in the defensive secondary and you look up front in that defensive line and you've got Mahaffey and Isaiah Mack and some of those guys, do you think, hey, they get a little pressure and that football's going to be up in the air?
Oh, I love playing with them guys, man, because they're always going to get great pressure on the quarterback. So I mean, it makes my job a lot easier with those guys up front. So it's great playing with those guys.
Give me a little senior thing. You've been around this program for a while. Does that mean you have to step up leadership-wise? Or you lead by example? Are you one of those loud guys like me, or or how do you lead? Or do you feel like that's your role, even though you are a senior?
I've always been leading by example. I'm not really a talkative guy on the team, but this year I've embraced that role to talk a little more to my teammates because I feel like they need me to talk a little more, and because I have a lot more experience and a lot of young guys in our back end, and just the team as a whole. So I mean, just being more vocal and just continue leading by example is what I've been doing.
All right, we talked a little bit about defense. Let's get to the important stuff now. Just talk about offense. You were kind of thrown – that's a joke. You were thrown to the wolves, Nick, a little bit last year. All of a sudden, you're in the starting lineup where most people didn't expect that to happen. Tell me in 1 year's time, 12 months' time, Nick Tiano from 2017 to Nick Tiano to 2018.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just a completely different mindset, really from the first day of spring practice this year up until now, leading into the season. I just feel – so much more, comfortable and confident in the offense with myself, with my teammates. I feel like it's all really come together, and I feel really good about it.
Did you put pressure on yourself last year? Did you feel that? And maybe, they all say the game slows down a little bit. Did that happen for you in the last year?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, those were my first real college snaps. It was kind of a little unexpected. So, I went in there, I was a little nervous, wasn't quite as comfortable, confident myself. But I think, after playing a little bit and working this offseason and, understanding everything a little more, I just feel so much more confident going into this season.
I think anyone would say we talked about turnovers. Chattanooga offensively had too many turnovers and probably didn't run the football as well as they needed to be successful. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you look at any football game, you can look at the turnover margin and probably tell who won or lost. So, for us, just like CJ said, that's a huge thing for us. We got to protect the ball, and one way to do that is be successful running the ball. Keep yourself in good situations where you're not trying to force the ball down the field and make plays.
I'm going to ask you both the same question. Is summer workouts overrated, or is that where you get that camaraderie aside from timing and working and all that kind of stuff? Talk about what the summer does, because everyone says championships are won in, June, July.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's huge for us. Like you said, the team coming together, obviously we've all been here since June and July, hanging out together, working out together. So that's huge. And then, I mean, on the field, I know for us, quarterbacks and receivers, building that chemistry is huge. I mean, that's last year something we didn't necessarily have together. So I think all summer working that and feeling confident, me knowing what they're going to do, they know what I expect. I think that it makes all the difference for us.
CJ, same question. What does summer do? How does summer help? And maybe it's just a bonding thing where you come together.
Exactly, because I feel like our coaches always say you're only as good as your training. So, I mean, like, us being here for the whole summer, just training with our teammates and our coaches, like, it really helped us, build, like, a more a stronger chemistry within the team, and it's just going to help carry over into the season.
I want to be precise and say Tom Arthur's now in his second year. And this is not a rip at him. Did it just take a while to understand what he wanted and what he expected? Sometimes words can verbalize that, I understand, but sometimes you just need to see it and hear it in practice every day. In the second half of the season for Chattanooga was much better than the first half of the season last year. So last year, was there just that, period where everyone had to get comfortable with one another?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're exactly right. I mean, I think there was just so much change as far as the culture of the program, from offensive scheme, defensive scheme. I mean, it's completely different to everybody. And I think that adjustment period, I mean, it's tough to do. They come in January and we get started, and we've got to be ready by August. That's a lot. So I think having a year under our belt and another off season, I think we'll be, so much further along, starting this season.
CJ, I'm going to ask you the same question. How optimistic are you coming into this year?
I mean, I've never felt more confident. Honestly, I feel like our teams come together the way we're practicing. I mean, back and forth, offense, defense every day. I really think we've got a shot to be a great team.
CJ, same questions for you. Did it just take a while to get comfortable with Coach Arthur, and vice versa?
Yeah, it's going to be a rebuilding period whenever you have new coaches and new schemes coming around. So, I mean, just going out there every day and just working on it and just putting a step forward every day is what's going to get you to where you want to be. I feel like that year definitely helped us coming into this year, because this spring and summer, like, we were a lot better than we were last spring and last summer, because we knew what all we had to do to get to where we wanted to be, and so just in that aspect, we're going to be a lot better.
And optimism? You're optimistic, looking forward to getting underway?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can't wait.
Chattanooga Mocs quarterback Nick Tiano, cornerback C.J. Fritz, with a preview of the Southern Conference on the Chattanooga Mocs. I'm Jim Reynolds.
All right, there you go. That is Mercer and Chattanooga. Their boxes are now ticked. Tomorrow, we'll take a look at the Wofford Terriers on the SoCon Digital Network's previews of the upcoming 2018 season for each team. We need to take a break. We'll come back and get you set for tomorrow's show as well as the rest of the week. Take a look at some other things that are coming up as well as the Dan Scott Show continues and wraps up the Tuesday edition right after this. Stay with us. Hey everybody, Dan Scott here, and I want to tell you about my technology partner, Carolina Creative Group. When my show needed a creative technology boost, I turned to Carolina Creative Group. My custom design website is going to take marketing as well as brand strategy and development to new levels. The search engine optimization means that my clients' ads will be seen by more people more often. And if I have any questions, Carolina Creative Group is just a phone call away. Friends, that is just the tip of the proverbial iceberg. You can find out all the ways that Carolina Creative Group can help your business by simply calling 864-250-2012. Again, that's 864-250-2012, or simply visit them online at carolinacreative.co. Carolina Creative Group, technology partner of the Dan Scott Show. When you're looking for the home of a lifetime, you need a realtor you can trust. With more than 27 years experience selling real estate, Gel Sartain is the choice to help the discriminating buyer find the home of their dreams. Licensed in both South Carolina and Georgia, Gel specializes in homes on beautiful lakes Hartwell and Kiwi, as well as the surrounding areas, and has a wealth of experience working with people with technical backgrounds. Now is the time to buy, sell, and invest in real estate in the Clemson-Seneca area. Let Gail help you realize that dream today. Call her at 404-317-3171. That's Gail Sartain, a member of the National Association of Realtors.
For a child battling a critical illness, a wish come true can be a turning point. One song, one dance, one game, one moment changes everything. Make-A-Wish needs your support to grant more life-changing wishes. Visit Make-A-Wish online now. Together, we can transform lives, one wish at a time.
Let me tell you something, Cowboy. This rookie can really bring the heat.
He's smoky and spicy with a Chipotle style all his own.
It's a new Montgomery Inn Chipotle barbecue sauce. Make it a part of your home team.
Available now at your neighborhood grocer or online at CincyFavorites.com.
All right, we are back. Good to have you with us as we continue here on the Dan Scott Show. Final segment of the program on this Tuesday edition of the show, and we've got a busy week lined up for you. As we showed you a moment ago, we will show you again here in just a moment. First, though, just a quick reminder, it was a week ago today that we announced our partnership with Make-A-Wish South Carolina, and boy, look at that little girl there. Isn't she just the cutest thing? The Make-A-Wish South Carolina organization does so much great work here in this state and partners to help other states and other chapters do things. That's how it works. But they grant a wish about every 48 hours here in the state of South Carolina, and that is the good news. The not so good news is that when their fiscal year wraps up at the end of this month, and that's this week, there'll be about 200 kids who haven't had wishes granted yet, and that's because of finances. Well, there are ways that you can help. sc.wish.org, you see it on the bottom of your screen there, /donate. You can go make an immediate donation. It takes about an average, and again, you know how average works. Some are higher, some are lower. So the average cost to grant a wish is about $7,500. And so obviously money is important. You can go make a donation there now. You can also do things like donate your air miles, which will help defray costs. If you have a car that is sitting around, you've been thinking about selling it, why not donate it to them? Let them sell it and reap the benefits from it. There are so many different ways that you can actually help them pull off more of these wishes. It's the Make-A-Wish South Carolina, sc.wish.org/donate. I am so excited that the show has partnered with Make-A-Wish South Carolina, and a couple times a month, Crystal's going to be up here, and we're going to be sharing some stories about some wishes that have been granted to kind of motivate you a little bit. I cannot wait. Really, really cannot wait. All right, so here's what is coming up again this week for the show. Beginning with tomorrow, Dave Glenn, ACCSports.com, The David Glenn Show. He'll be with us via phone at 10:25. On Thursday, Larry Williams of TigerIllustrated.com. He'll be in to help us preview Clemson every week. We'll try to have somebody connected with Furman's upcoming opponent, he said, to help give you a little more insight into that week's game. Larry will be here, best in the business on the Tiger beat for a long, long time. Larry Williams, TigerIllustrated.com, Thursday via phone at 10:25. And then in studio Friday, a couple of guests. Scott Keeler will be here to talk some prep football at 10:25, at 10:45. Actually going to flip the switch and talk a little Furman baseball with Brett Harker, get his thoughts recapping 2018, which we have not been able to do yet because of his schedule, and more importantly, look ahead to a fall ball season that's upcoming that has him very, very excited with the group that he has on campus. No show on Monday, Labor Day, and then Tuesday, normally on Mondays, but this coming week it'll be Tuesday. Don Clardy, the former Furman wide receiver and financial advisor at New York Life, will be with us to give us his thoughts on the Furman-Clemson game. And then every Monday, Tuesday this week, but every Monday afterwards, we're going to start taking game by game the 1988 schedule, the year that Furman won at that time won AA national championship, and have him give us his remembrances of those games. He was a sophomore in that season, a wide receiver on that team. Really, really excited to have Don with us, and that'll be at 10:15 on Tuesday, and then 10:15 on the subsequent Mondays after the show. And, I've got this up on screen for you to see, and what you can't see is me still looking at the camera and doing all the hand gestures that I normally would do, like I'm trying to land a plane, and you guys can't see any of it. And that's probably not a bad thing. So we've done it again. We've killed an hour, and thank you for your attention. We look forward to being back with you tomorrow with Dave Glenn, also the Wofford preview from the SoCon Digital Network, as we continue pushing toward game week. And I'll be wearing my Furman shirt over in Clemson again today, and we'll continue to update you on the comments that fly as they did last night. Listen, you folks have a great rest of your Tuesday, and we'll be back with you tomorrow, same time and same place. Until then, I'm Dan Scott saying God bless you. So long, everybody.